If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
It is live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, Tuesday, July 29th. Glad you're in, everybody. Slick's going to do some sports. Rick Delgado's got the news. Vinnie Mac is here as well. He's got some thoughts on some things in the news that he's been thinking about. We'll get to him. Vinnie Mac, of course. Vin, how are you? Good to see you. How you doing? You looking good in that blue shirt. Vin, how are you?
This is my Florida shirt. I'm in the Real America's Voice studios here, coming remotely to, yes, is that you, Damon? I think I see you. Yes.
Yeah, Vin's
so anyhow, I'm here in Florida.
Yeah, Vin's in the West Palm studio of Real America's Voice down in Florida. He's not here to my left, but I told him I'm going to turn to the left every time he talks just to make it look like I'm looking at him. But he's down in West Palm.
Quite an effect.
Yeah, it's going to work well. You can see already how much it works.
First there was Jurassic Park, and now there's Damon looking over. It's quite an effect. But I've had a big day here.
Really?
Yeah, did you get some sun? Doesn't look it.
What did you do?
Yeah.
Go to the beach? Go to the beach in your bikini or something? God forbid. What did you do?
No, I didn't break out my two-piece. I've been surrounded by celebrities here. Dr. Gina Loudon, Eric Bolling, David Zier. You know, they've all been at the studio. It's been kind of cool hanging around and watching them and do their thing. Telling them how we are, the funniest show on the network. Most informative show.
Most unserious show.
Yeah.
It's not exactly great when you have to tell them.
Now, when people, I was going to say, when the people see you, they're like, oh, that's that guy from that show.
Right.
Have you gotten any of that? Like,
they're like, is that Studio 8F? What is that of? Which one is it?
8H.
No, you know what? Here's the reality, though. They all know this show. This is quite a popular show amongst the talent here at Real America's Voice.
Yeah, sure they do.
Yeah, they ask me about Slick's outfits all the time. They're like, why does he wear those outfits? And what's he doing? I said, have you heard of Prince? He's a disciple. He's wearing Prince wear, basically, right?
No, I don't disagree. I disagree with that.
Develop my own style.
His style. I mean, this is where he's always dressed to the nines, to the tens.
He's slicktastic.
But you're inspired.
Slicktastic, yeah. So tell those people who are asking that question, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Slickster's got it going on. They wish they had it going on like the Slickster.
It sounds like they really tune in often. Right? I mean, come on.
Dinner.
They say it in a loving way.
Yeah.
They're impressed.
All right, so Vin's going to do some news.
What'd you say, they're
our
depressed?
West Palm studio. Delgado's going to get to the headlines here. Slick's going to do sports. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. So here's where I have to start. Well, first of all,
where are we going to start?
Let's start with an update on. And there's a lot of updates, and obviously it actually involves sports as well. But Delgado, why don't you give us an update on what we know from obviously most of last night's show, when this gunman broke out in Midtown Manhattan last night. We obviously covered it most of the show last night. But now we have some more details on, unfortunately, the deceased, a police officer and a security guard. Security guard, of course, because of the ridiculous, gun laws in New York, was basically helpless to do anything as a security guard. And then people from this girl from Blackstone.
Yep. One of the executives there.
To all the people who couldn't get to Twitter fast enough to make this a conspiracy theory, Blackstone, not Black Rock. Blackstone sells grills. Black Rock is all your down the rabbit hole stuff. Hello?
Yeah.
I mean, they just couldn't get there fast enough to try to draw this distinction. And it's not even the right company. So, Delgado, what do we know?
All right. Well, what we know, courtesy of ABC, is that the four victims identified, as you mentioned, an NYPD police officer, a Blackstone executive among the four that was killed. The officer that we knew pretty early on was Deidre Islam, 36. He was the off-duty police officer assigned to the Bronx precinct that was working there. Bangladeshi immigrant who joined the NYPD 4 years ago. His wife is pregnant with their third child. They already have two sons. Just a horrible, horrible thing to happen to a young family. Shot in cold blood. So we knew about him. And he's being honored, of course, by the NYPD. And, we'll see more about that as the story continues to unfold. Wesley LaPanter is another one. That's the Blackstone employee. Wesley, wife and mom of 2, was also killed. She was the global head of Core Plus Real Estate and chief executive officer over at Blackstone Real Estate Income Trust. They are basically, she was the last person killed, from what I understand. That was on the 33rd floor. I guess he meant to go to the NFL floor, hit the wrong button or got on the wrong elevator that didn't go to that floor, ended up on this floor on the 33rd. She was the first person he ran into, and unfortunately for her, she was the last one that he killed besides himself. Also, Aland Etienne. That's the security officer that was also killed, according to his brother. He was, dedicated security officer, took his job extremely seriously. But as you pointed out, Damon, security officers not allowed to carry weapons, or maybe there could have been a different outcome here. We just don't know. And lastly, Julia Hyman was the 4th person killed at the shooting yesterday. She worked as an associate at Rudin Management, according to her LinkedIn, also which is located on the 33rd floor. Or I guess maybe she was the one that was the last one to be killed. Just a tragedy all the way around as you find out these 4 people plus another person in the hospital who was injured that was also shot. Just 4 victims, four fatalities attached to this scumbag that decided, he's going to walk into a building in New York City and just start shooting people indiscriminately because, he's got mental problems.
All right, so Slick, let's move over to the sports angle here, obviously. What's the reporting on some motive here? I'm seeing John Solomon tonight reporting NFL employee seriously injured at headquarters in New York City shooting. So I know he didn't make it to the right floor, but...
it's just a lot of stories going all around. I got one in Breitbart here. NFL headquarters was alleged Manhattan gunman's target. Or Hawkins reported from the Associated Press indicates the 27-year-old Las Vegas man who allegedly opened fire in Manhattan Monday was trying to target the National Football League's headquarters, as Rick just said. However, the alleged gunman took an elevator to the wrong floor and did not reach NFL headquarters. Early Tuesday morning, Breitbart News pointed to an ABC News article explaining that the 27-year-old allegedly had a note in his pocket in which he claimed to have had CTE, which is the chronic traumatic encephalopathy, and asked for his brain to be studied. He also referenced the NFL in the note. And in New York City, Mayor Eric Adams observed he appeared to have blamed the NFL for his injury. So Adams added he, from our preliminary investigation, he took the wrong elevator bank up the NFL headquarters. Instead, it took him to Rudin Management, and that is where he carried out additional shootings and took the lives of additional employees. The alleged gunman reportedly killed himself, which we know. But apparently, and I'm going to dive into another story when I do sports later, he had referenced a number of things, a number of players that had CTE. So obviously, the guy was sick, of course. We know that by his actions. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, he was blaming the NFL. Now, he wasn't an NFL player. We know that. He was a high school player, from what I understand. I don't know if he played junior college. I have to look into that, too. I'll update you on that when I do sports, Big D. But, yes, NFL is being roped into this. He went to the NFL offices. Actually, a dear friend of mine, Rose Rosa, she was the VP of Finance for the NFL. She had retired a few years ago. She took an early buyout, and they actually watched the show, her and her husband. Very good friends of mine. They moved from Holbrook. They moved upstate, and she used to go to that office every day from Holbrook. She used to take the training. So, my wife even said, wasn't that where Rose used to work? I says, that's exactly where Rose used to work. She used to work for Roger Goodell.
Vin, we were talking on last night's show before, while this was going on, because I was just in New York on Saturday. And what's stunning is, and I'm going to parlay this into some of the reporting tonight about the Manhattan mayoral race. I was in New York on Saturday, and I'll just tell you, the city is just not the city that I used to go to in the mid-'90s, early 2000s. I mean, it's just an absolute mess. And then you have this, obviously, last night, and it's just... The guy running for mayor wants to get rid of the cops. Give me your thoughts.
Well, first off, this really hit home because my daughter was with her cousin going to a concert at the Garden, and I hear, mass shooting in, Midtown Manhattan, and of course, all you can think about is, where is she? What's happening there? And when it hits home like that, it's you kind of accept the fact that these random things can happen, and you just hope they don't happen when you or a loved one are around. But what I really see kind of happening here, and especially in light of this new mayor candidate that the Democrats are putting up, is these liberal policies. Everybody on the left seems to embrace the warm and fuzzy of these liberal policies and guns are dangerous and all this stuff. Yeah. They're dangerous until something like this happens and a security guard has no gun to defend. Look at the guy at the Walmart with the stabbings.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a guy stabbing people randomly, and this ex-Marine came out. He had a gun. He had a permit to carry it, too, and he stopped it. I'm not saying everybody's got to carry a gun, but at the end of the day, when you have these liberal policies that think they're doing something good because it's, peaceful and so on, bad people aren't peaceful. I think what people really got to understand is bad people do bad things, okay? Crazy people can do really bad things. This poor guy had a problem, and he went crazy, and he did really bad things, which is why we need more police. We need security guards armed. We need real deterrence here. And what we're going to get from this new mayor in New York City, to your point, Damon, I don't recognize the city myself. I was years at de Blasio. We're horrible. Adams is no better, maybe a little better. And this guy will just dismantle all that stuff. He's already talking about taking out the task force that went and, took care of this situation after the reports came out of the shooting. He's talking about dismantling that. I mean, we're going the wrong direction. I don't know how people are not seeing this. Does it take you having a loved one affected by this? And it shouldn't. But it seems to be the only way to wake people up on the left that we need a higher level of deterrence.
Headline in the New York Post today, exactly what Vin is just saying. Mondami planning to disband elite NYPD task force that responded to deadly NYC shooting. That's the headline today in the New York Post. So I don't know if they're referring to he already had these plans or he still has these plans, but it basically says that the front runner is planning to axe an elite NYPD task force that charged into the Park Avenue building during Monday's deadly mass shooting if he takes over City Hall, despite expressing how grateful he was for the first responders after the attack. Of course, well, we talked about that last night, what his true feelings are, because you have to actually go back and read what he wrote over the years, not what he wrote last night. He has no choice last night but to write what he wrote.
Right.
But it's all the times where this wasn't going on, where he could have written anything to look at what he wrote. That's what he actually believes, not last night when he's forced to have to write it. Because what are the choices you have? You're going to double down, triple down last night? So, but we got to get into this new polling because it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning, the people of New York. Hello? So we'll get into that when we get back. Then we'll get to sports news, Vinnie Mac's news as well. All on a Tuesday night. Real America's Voice right after this.
Everybody's complaining how this guy got in there with that gun.
How he got in
the chat. Nobody can believe in broad daylight. Nobody saw this guy.
They saw him. They just didn't react.
Why? I mean, what is it, Kitty Genovese? I mean,
Well, what are they going to do? They can't
call it. I guess
not only that.
Did they call? I guess they called the cops 911. I would hope.
I think a lot of it is stunned and disbelief. They're like,
well, it's true.
Kind of walking, and
you might think it's a joke or
right,
a prop. Guy's an actor. It could be an actor. It could be a movie they're filming.
Could be an officer.
It makes you pause.
I explained this to friends of mine that live in rural Pennsylvania, and I said New Yorkers are very good at ignoring stuff that doesn't immediately pertain to them.
Right, because
true.
They could be walking in the other direction and be like, "Huh, what is that?"
Diane in the YouTube chat, she says, "Please get Sliwa on the show." They're calling for Sliwa.
That's what we need. That guy will clean it up.
He will. I mean, I tell you, I hope that vote gets split and he does get in there. I really do.
Well,
You're not gonna like what I got coming up.
Oh, that's too bad because I like to see
this could be the
Guardian Angels,
the
baby.
thing that kind of tips everything in the other direction, where people start to wake up and
I
go.
was thinking that last night.
I
was thinking that last night.
I'm just telling you, read the New York Post today.
Yeah, but that's how old is that? Is that poll? You're gonna a week?
I think it's out this morning.
Probably not based on this news.
No way.
That
No way
was
they
my
could have turned it around that fast.
5 hours ago.
Yeah, but they couldn't have turned
No, that's
it
when
around
they
that fast.
posted.
That's when they posted it.
No, it's July 29th, 2025. Is that today?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they
it's
posted.
5 hours ago.
Yeah, but that's when they took the poll and then they had all the numbers and they posted it 5 hours ago. I don't know about that.
Let me see when they actually do the polling.
Well, it's important because you're talking about that's only a 18-hour swing.
Could have been from over the weekend, and now they have the results.
Could have been Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
They could have did it. I mean, that's critical to pick that out because I was thinking the same thing last night. I was making dinner and I said, you know what? I was talking about Curtis Sliwa and I said, this may get people to start thinking, hey, we need guardian angel type protection. Hey, what that guy put together back then, that was remarkable. What was that, 40 years ago, right? The guardian angels. I mean, he's had some, ups and downs and all that, but I've met him a few times.
Why'd they come out, Guardian Angels? Mayor Dinkins, okay? Let the city fall apart. We needed this rogue group of Guardian Angels to protect us in the city. That's how they came about. It's crazy.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 17 past the hour. On a Tuesday night, Slick's going to do sports. Vinnie Mac's got some news. He's down in West Palm in our Real America's Voice studios in West Palm down in Florida. He's got some news. He's with us. Rick Delgado's here in New York. He's got some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. So Zenith Polls, Adam Carlson, who I follow on X, they have a new independent poll out today that shows Zohan Mondami expanding his coalition to cement a 28-point lead over Andrew Cuomo in a 5-way race. And it's a pretty in-depth poll. 4 languages, 44 questions. Aaron, put this up so just people can see it. So first of all, the poll was offered in English, Spanish, Chinese, different languages.
See.
Here's the top line. Right now, this guy's 50%, Cuomo 22%, Sliwa 13%, Adams 7%, others. Percentage of voters who won't consider voting for Adams 68%, Cuomo 60%, Sliwa 59%.
There you go.
That's the percentage of people. Here's the, as this guy correctly says, the eye poppers. Look at the Jewish community in New York City.
The self-hating Jewish community.
I mean, hello?
It's shocking.
Plus 17 overall this guy is right now? I mean, even if you say this poll was last week and it's plus 17?
It's amazing that people will put aside what their own self-interest to go along. It's stunning.
I mean,
really, when you think about it.
Look at these groups. And I mean, and then you talk about what the issues are in New York. Jews, plus 17 overall, plus 58 under 45 years old, plus 33 with reform and secular. LGBTQ plus 58, 72, 13. Asians, plus 53 overall. Latinos, plus 30 overall. Every race group, he's ahead. Plus 19 with whites, 41-22. Plus 19 with blacks, 48-29. Plus 30 Latinos, plus 53 Asians. And showing expanded strength with black voters. Plus 50 under 45. Plus 50 college educated, 60-10. Plus 39 union. 57-18. Older black voters also most undecided. He leads with every income bracket. Is the only candidate with a plus net favorability rating. I mean, Vin, what do you make of this? What is going on with the people of New York? Did the Jewish community in New York understand that this guy hates them? I guess not.
No, this comes down to my Obama theory. My Obama theory is when you get speakers that are so articulate and so convincing, like Obama was, he could read the phone book and say nothing, and people would be like, I totally agree. This guy's going to be amazing. And that's what this guy is able to do. He might not be as good as Obama, but he speaks really well. He commands the camera well. He's good with social media. But if the Jewish community and others actually read what he says, read it. Read it in black and white. Don't watch it, because they're not seeing it. They're not hearing it. They're blinded by I hate to even use this word for this guy because I cannot stand him, but by the charisma of what he puts out there. And the Jewish vote, when we first started talking about this, my feeling was, well, the Jewish vote's going to take this guy out at some point. You know, they're not going to support him in mass numbers. And then you just put up, these numbers, and they're absolutely insane. I thought they'd go with Cuomo, frankly, the Jewish vote, more traditional Democrat. That seems to be where most of the Jewish population lands. But this guy, this is self-hating. They're not reading what he's saying, and they're just falling for charisma. That's how I see it.
Here's a further breakdown of the actual race. And this is by the guy who actually owns the Zenith polling, Adam Carlson. Among likely voters in a 5-way race, Mamdani leads by 28 points. Mamdani leads by 39 points if only Cuomo drops out. He leads by 26 if only Adams drops out. He leads by 27 head-to-head versus Adams. He leads by 12 head-to-head versus Cuomo. So he's leading with every demographic group. He's leading in every situation you come up with. And none of these guys show any interest in dropping out. So right now, it's a cakewalk for this guy. As crazy as that is to say.
I think it's only a cakewalk because he's just not been exposed yet. Again, and I've said this plenty of times as well, is that most of these people do not drink from the political well like we do. We pretty much, we're in it 24 hours a day. We're always checking things. We're always reading things. We're always following up. We're always on our social media. We're always on news sites. We're always drinking this stuff in. So when we get here, we can sound like we know what we're talking about. Most people are too busy. They got things going on. They have time for short snippets, short sound bites, and that's what he's been good at. Like Vin said, he's got the social media stuff down. He gets very
clips.
good play from media who plays along and says, "Oh, look at this! This guy is great." Blah blah blah. But they don't see what everybody else, well, at least people that know better, see. And I think that's between now and Election Day. That is going to be the job of the Adams and the Cuomos and the Sliwas, is to expose this guy.
But here's the problem with that.
And expose him for, like you said, everything that he's written that he truly believes, as opposed to the facade that he throws up, for the quick 30-second media hit.
Well, number one, I totally disagree with that. But here's the problem, even putting that aside. Likely voters, people who know New York, people who know these candidates, obviously Cuomo, they're very familiar with. 60% of likely voters, as well as 52% of registered voters, say they will not, under any circumstances, vote for Cuomo.
I understand that. But you're saying likely voters. That just means, I plan on voting on the next election. That doesn't mean they know anything about the other candidates. They just say, yes, I'm definitely going to, and I'm definitely not going to vote for that guy. That's all that tells you. It doesn't tell you what they might learn between now and then.
That could be opportunity there, those people, right? For a Sliwa or for whoever could grab them.
Well, listen,
it should be.
I hope you're right. But I'll tell you, this thing paints the picture of a very, very steep uphill climb for anybody right now to even give this guy something to even think about in this race. Never mind just a cakewalk, which it looks like right now. Yep. And it's stunning, the Jewish vote in New York. Stunning.
Amazing.
Another point on this is look at the left cities. They all have fairly radical mayors, and then they have fairly radical governors. So this is just getting worse. But look at L.A. The woman who won L.A. firebombed a building.
In D.C.
She's a terrorist.
Yes.
I mean, what's happening with the left is they are just going further and further left. These cities, New York is a left-wing city. It's been Democrat-run since Giuliani left. He's the only mayor that fixed that place. All these other cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago. I mean, the Chicago mayor, I mean, he's getting up talking about, defying ICE at every level. This is all they're doing. So this guy, he kind of fits right in. The problem is this holistic view and this insane divide that's happening with the left-wing population in this country, all over the country. New York, we're just another example of that. And L.A., it's showing it. They paid the price. Fires, crime, drugs, homelessness. We're going to see that in New York again. Yeah.
All right, let's hit the break. Aaron, bump out with this. Just one more time so people can see it. This is all on our socials, by the way, on X. I just shared it. Look at the vote among the Jewish subgroups. It's unbelievable.
Chat live in the chat. We on the Facebooks? I'm looking.
Facebooks.
The Facebook. That's how the mature people say. The Facebooks.
How you doing?
How you doing?
The Facebook.
Here we go. What's today? No, that's Monday. Am I on Monday? Are we not on the Facebooks? It says live. I'm clicking the live. It's taking me to Monday.
Jeremy Mansker says, stupid is as stupid does. Right out of Forrest Gump, and it's so true. I mean, that's what's happening in New York. And all these other cities, too, by the way, that are left-wing. What's wrong with them? That we keep thinking, what is wrong with
this time they'll get it right.
Okay.
Good
You
luck with
believe
that.
Hall of Fame game on Thursday already? 8 o'clock on NBC, NFL?
Hallelujah.
This Thursday?
Hall of Fame game. This Thursday.
With who?
Chargers and Lions.
Nobody's in shape.
Hall of Shame. Well, they've been in camp a week earlier. They got a little extra time. They let them go in. They've probably been in camp since 15th of July.
Shouldn't the Hall of Fame game be sometime during the season when the best teams are playing? Instead of,
It's a lot of pomp. I went to one of those. It's really quite the pomp and circumstance, and the game is just an excuse for having something tangible after they have the big enshrinement the day before. It's quite a hullabaloo, that whole thing. I went when Emmitt Smith went in 2010.
They really should do
What
it
an
towards the end of the season.
Well,
You know?
Hall of Fame. Then what team do you pick? And then there's so much on the line, just with the teams at that time, and the ratings are what they are. So they do it for ratings too, because nobody wants to watch football this time of year.
Who plays? I mean, what is the Hall of Fame game anyhow? Or did two teams play?
Yeah, two NFL teams. It's an exhibition preseason game.
Ooh,
In fact, when I was there, the Cowboys played the Bengals.
big whoop.
No, it's like
Cowboys
NFL.
still in the league?
What's that? Cowboys?
The Cowboys are still in the league?
Yes, they are, Vin. Have you heard?
In many ways, they are the league. Even when they suck, they are the league. Trust me. The
America's
news
team,
fodder
baby.
on
I'm
them,
with
baby.
you.
They were a beacon. They're celebrating their 30th anniversary of winning a Super Bowl.
More like bacon.
Yeah. My prediction: Jets 14-2.
14-2. They're only playing a 16. And what happens in the 17th game? Their quarterback breaks his leg and they go 14-3.
14-2, meaning that's the score that they're down by every end of first quarter? What are you talking about?
That's the end of the first 5 minutes. Yeah, then come on. If you're a Jet fan.
right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, July 29th. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in, everybody. If you're watching on socials, make sure you follow, hit the like, subscribe. Thumbs up on all the socials at LFS6B, pretty much everywhere. Let's do some sports, then we'll do some news, then we'll do Vinnie Mac's news right here in a row. Let's start with sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you want to shop at MyPillow. Slickster, Scott Sports, what's going on?
Let's continue with this NFL story in Manhattan. Manhattan shooter cited CTE-stricken ex-NFL player Terry Long in note condemning league. This is Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Shane Tamura, the crazed shooter who killed 4 people in the building containing NFL headquarters in Manhattan on Monday night, referenced former Pittsburgh Steeler Terry Long in a note blasting the league. Long, who committed suicide by drinking antifreeze, was diagnosed with chronic traumatic encephalopathy, known as CTE. In the note, Tamura claims to have suffered from CTE himself, a traumatic brain condition commonly associated with football, and blamed the NFL for hiding the seriousness of the disease to maintain profits. Terry Long football gave me CTE, and it caused me to drink a gallon of antifreeze, the note reportedly stated. You can't go against the NFL. They'll squash you. The note continued. Please study brain for CTE. I'm sorry. The league knowingly concealed the dangers to our brains to maximize profits. They failed us. Terry Long played for the Pittsburgh Steelers from 1984 to 1991, so he had more than a cup of coffee with them. I do remember him. Good defensive player. In June of 2005, the then 45-year-old Long committed suicide by drinking antifreeze. A post-mortem examination of Long's brain revealed that he had CTE. Long told police in 91, the same year he was suspended by the league for steroid abuse, that he had attempted to commit suicide by swallowing 2 or 3 sleeping pills. According to the Daily Mail, in March of 2005, he was indicted by a federal grand jury on charges he fraudulently obtained loans for a chicken processing plant, which prosecutors allege he burned to the ground in September 2003 for the insurance money. He was arrested in late March that year and released on $10,000 bond. Furthermore, he reportedly was struggling with personal issues, too. At the time he died, Long's neighbors said he was separated from his second wife and was depressed about that, as well as the federal charges he faced. For Tamura's part, he played football at the high school level and had a long history of mental health issues, according to police. So this guy is...
I don't even understand this story. This story is all about a guy who's been dead, right? He's not even
he's been dead. He's been dead since 2005. But this guy, Shane Tamura, is paralleling this guy in his note, mentioning this guy. He must have been a Steelers fan. I mean, I don't know. He lived out west,
but he only played up to high school, right?
Well. Yeah, the guy Shane, but this football player was the person, Terry Long. He had an NFL career.
Right,
he played 6 years.
But the guy who was the shooter only played high school.
Correct. Yeah, but he's saying he seemed to think he had CTE. He was blaming that or using that obviously as an excuse. I don't think that he had CTE. Don't know. I'm not. They'll find out when they do the autopsy if they do one on this guy. But I don't think that's the case. You would likely not get CTE just from high school football, and playing Pop Warner and what have you. But who's to know? But he was claiming. Obviously, who knows? Maybe there'll be a diagnosis on this, but he is trying to parallel this. This is what happens. People live vicariously through stars, through sports, through idols, and things like that. And sometimes they think they have this relationship or these same, similarities. So that's really what the story was all about there.
That could be part of his mental health issue.
Of course it is. And then the fact that, listen, I even said last night, I said, imagine if he could have been going to the NFL to target them, had a grievance with the league. Sure enough, this was the case. Well, NFL's Roger Goodell, he praises New York Police Department officer who was killed in NYC shooting. It was Didarul Islam was identified as the fallen officer. Ryan Gatos and Scott Thompson of Fox News contributing on this story. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell praised NYPD officer Didarul Islam in a memo to employees who were at the building where a crazed gunman killed 4 and injured others in a shooting. Goodell said in the memo obtained by Fox News Digital that one NFL employee was seriously injured but in stable condition. He mentioned Islam and thanked him for sacrificing his life to save others. We are deeply grateful to the law enforcement officers who responded to this threat quickly and decisively, and to Officer Islam, who gave his life to protect others. So just wanted to say that as well. Roger Goodell obviously realizing the value of this of the folks that were trying to protect as best they could with resources they had. What did they security guard? Did they find out whether they were armed or not, Rick? You had referenced that possibly they weren't.
The one police officer was armed. The other security officer was not.
But with a pistol versus an AK? What was it? That gun, an AK-47 or something like that? A long gun. Okay, so whatever the case, you don't stand much of a chance with a pistol, obviously. So, and that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, 34 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Let's do some headlines with Rick Delgado, brought to you by our friends at EternalLifeCoin.com. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, well, the greatest headlines in the world, Damon, include this breaking news. Magnitude 8.7 earthquake just struck off the coast of Russia moments ago, I guess 24 minutes ago, according to this one report. According to this, it's prompted a tsunami watch for the Hawaiian Islands. The earthquake occurred at 7:24 p.m. Now they're saying Eastern time, and was centered off the coast at a depth of about 12 miles. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center issued a tsunami watch for Hawaii, indicating that a tsunami may have been generated by the earthquake, which could be destructive even far from the epicenter. So emergency officials have stated that if the tsunami waves impact Hawaii, the earliest arrival of the first wave could be around 7:17 p.m. Hawaii time. Something to look out for. And again, this is a magnitude 8.7 earthquake, which is friggin' huge. Just a mountain of water would be affected by that.
Wow.
So the tsunami watch on right now for Hawaii. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but we'll keep things, try and keep you posted as we know more about this story going forward.
And this New York City shooter was from Hawaii originally. Am I correct? I believe I heard that.
No idea.
I heard he was from Hawaii originally. Then he had relocated to, I believe, Vegas.
Speaking of that, Delgado, it says here that the 8.7 is the strongest earthquake in the world since 2011.
Yeah,
it's pretty strong.
You don't get many
15 years.
Many over 8.
Yeah. Wow, crazy.
It's crazy, is right.
What else?
Other big news, of course, the shooting in New York City, which has got everybody talking. But of course, what happens with the media? They just can't seem to help themselves. Here is CNN, their chief law enforcement and intel analyst. His name is John Miller. He was on with Erin Burnett last night. Here is cut number 4, and here's his analysis of the gentleman who did the shooting. Cut number 4. Check this out.
But was his face visible? I mean, do they have any idea at this point who he is?
They do not know who he is. They know he is a male, possibly white.
There it is.
He's wearing sunglasses. He appears to have a mustache. And that picture has been distributed to every police officer in New York City, particularly has been sent to the phones of the search teams inside that building.
Yeah, so basically the picture that we've all seen, that is very obvious, that is not a white man. That could be just, there were a lot of reports that could have been Middle Eastern man because of the dark complexion, which is fine. You can make that judgment because of the skin tone, but you can't sit there and say that this guy is a white man, probably white. Not based on that picture, when they can obviously see his mustache, and you can obviously see his hair. You can obviously see that is not a white dude. But CNN cannot help themselves. This is basically the media running out there. It's got to be. We hope it's a white guy because that fills the narrative. Here is cut number 5. Even after they've seen the picture and they've shown the picture, Erin Burnett still repeats it. Here's cut 5. Check it out.
Showing you here, John's reporting that they do know what he looks like, male, possibly white, mustache, sunglasses, in that building, isolated to, they believe, to various locations, including upper floors is where they're focused. What are you learning, Shimon?
Now, keep in mind, the intel analyst and chief law enforcement officer, his name was John Miller. He should know better because if you saw him, he's pretty freaking white. He's like Vinny White. And that's definitely not who we saw in that picture, walking towards that building, holding that gun that you can see in pretty good detail. So the media just can't seem to stop themselves from being wrong all the time and trying to push narratives. And it's getting to the point where, man, oh man, you think that they would learn, hey, the Democrats are at like 19%. We're pretty much in the same boat with them. Why do we keep going down this road? Because this is what they want to happen. They're actively rooting against anything positive for this country. They want certain outcomes. They want to push certain narratives, and this is how they do it. And it's amazing. But that's what you get. This chief law enforcement guy, Jim Miller, he should be fired for even saying that, because you look at the picture, you know right away, possibly not white, probably not, most definitely not white. Just ridiculous.
Not a Maryland father either.
Yeah, not a Maryland father. Not a constituent. Not a citizen. All the hoaxes that they're going with. They're going with the possibly white hoax now on CNN. So.
Yeah, we said it last night in real time that's what they said.
It's just ridiculous between what they try to do with stuff like this, what they try to do with President Trump.
Well, look at the New York Times today. They had to issue a retraction on their story about the starving children in Gaza. That the picture they used on the homepage was a picture. Now it ends up that it wasn't it may have been a kid in Gaza, but it wasn't current time. It was some kid who had health problems.
Right.
And the reason he looked like he looked. And they took the picture and used it to say, look at this.
Yeah.
And they had to issue a retraction today.
Because it's all about their narratives. They have to push it. They just can't help themselves most times. It's amazing to watch. It's just like this. The story we talked about last night with Sydney Sweeney and the jeans commercial. The left is freaking out. It's not what they want. They're losing it. So, I don't know. We'll get into that.
I don't really get that. What are they losing about Sydney Sweeney being hot in jeans? What are they losing it
because
about?
that's Nazism, Damon. You didn't know that? The part where she's white and she's wearing jeans and she's pretty. All the ugly people hate it.
You get this, Vin? I mean, you're in the marketing. I mean, it looked pretty brilliant to me. Short, sweet, to the point.
That's right. That's what it should be. You wearing a pair of jeans, you want the model to look really good and hot, and that's called marketing. It's called projecting. You too could look this great if you put these jeans on. I mean, right. That's what advertising's all about with all of it.
And Damon, what'd you say their stock price is up what?
It was up like 200% on the day they announced that she was the model, and people started to see the commercials.
Right.
The finished product.
So the left isn't buying her stuff?
I mean, if you're going to start a brand or jeans brand or some sexy brand, then you're thinking, well, let me think. Am I going to go hire Sydney Sweeney, or should I go look for some
Damon?
You're going to hire
Lizzo.
Somebody who checks all the boxes.
Well, get Lizzo.
yeah,
She's
exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You're going to hire Sydney
Sweeney. All about
Sweeney.
aspiration.
Yeah, if you want to be successful and sell jeans, I mean, what is the mantra for marketing? Sex sells, right? It's simple.
Yeah, look
it's
at this
basic.
shirt. I mean, look at this shirt I got on.
Yeah, nobody's buying that shirt because you're wearing it.
Look at this
exactly.
shirt.
No one's going to buy that. Sydney Sweeney jeans. Hello. All right, we'll get to Vin in his shirt and his news when we get back right after this.
Vin, nice chicken wing.
Don't cook tonight.
Man, I wish just once I'd get guns, Oh, man. That's just not there. Someone had a funny comment on here. I'm trying to find it. Something about KDJ would say the blue-haired Gorgons would all be upset, by seeing these ads.
Oh, they're freaking out.
Super Chat, I want to shout out a few of our friends. Robert Allen has given us two $10 Super Chats. Live from Robert. Damon, Rick, Vinny, and Degato, 10.5. Not sure what that means, but that was two $10 Super Chats from him. And Yahoo Yahoo, Big D, weighing in. Guys, the Sweeney ad has the tagline, she has good genes. And Left says it's too much like this blonde with blue eyes has good genes. That must have been what Delgado was relaying. Yeah, having these superior genes, right?
This is so Nazi. Yes.
The Aryan race over here.
Aryan.
I mean, it's so crazy. Why can't it just be, man, the girl looks good, go buy the jeans?
That's really what, and that's really what it is, I'm sure. But they got to read into it and warp it. Crazy. Good gravy.
You remember the old cigarette ads way back in the day? Tom Selleck did cigarette ads. I mean, even though they made you look old, they crinkled your skin, you didn't look healthy, all this stuff. The dudes selling it were dudes, man, good-looking dudes. I mean, that's aspiration, man. That's what sells.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah, we'll put Whoopi Goldberg in a pair of those jeans and see what happens.
There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
Place will be out of business by midnight.
Sorry, don't get the visual, okay? Yeah.
Nobody wants Whoopi Goldberg jeans.
Oh, God.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell, she could do it.
What is she going to do? Put them on her head?
That's when star power does not work for you. I mean, I thought she was funny in A League of Her Own. Okay, I give Rosie some credit. She was funny in that movie. The rest of her,
that was 40 years ago.
Her career. I know. Well, okay,
People
40
don't
years
remember
ago,
that movie.
She was funny. I remember it. It's one of your favorite movies, Delgado.
No, he said he was, I guess, putting something out at 8:30. A big. Let me go to his website. Just the news.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, July 29th. Glad you're in. If you're watching on social media, make sure you give us a follow, like, subscribe, thumbs up, comment, whatever it is, any interaction. We appreciate it on social media. Slick's going to do some more sports. Delgado's going to do some more headlines in hour 2. But right now, let's go down to our West Palm studio, where Vinnie Mac is located, as he's down in Florida doing who knows what. He's laying in the sand, supposedly maybe working a little bit. But is that the shirt, by the way, that Sherry Merrill sent you, or is that what are you wearing?
Yeah, who are you wearing?
No, it's not the
by
shirt.
the way, if you ever flex, you're fired. Stay there. Don't come back. Because we all had to catch our breath there. What is that shirt you're wearing, Vin?
That's terrible.
Okay. You don't like this shirt?
No, I like it very much, but I didn't know if that was the one our fan, Sherry Merrill, sent for you.
No,
she sent a beautiful blue shirt, which I'll be wearing probably on Friday.
Okay.
It's at my home studio, but yeah, she sent a beautiful shirt. This is a little different. This is I'm not sure who this is. Sorry.
Oh yeah, now that I see you full screen, I can tell that's not it. It's got like a pattern on that shirt.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, very good.
Thank you. Yes.
So what's got your attention in the news, Vinnie Mac?
Well, speaking of the media, just getting these things wrong with the race of the shooter and all the various other things, the record crowds that we saw at the Colbert rally, I believe there were 15 to 20 people there trying to cheer and protest on Colbert getting fired.
That many?
I thought it was pretty hysterical.
Yeah, it was a good turnout.
crowd control.
Yeah, it's a great turnout for a dinner for two. I think that's about as far as that went. But a couple of things that have caught my eye that I think are interesting. One, we just continue to win because Chuck Grassley and Rick Crawford are asking the FBI and Kash Patel directly to let's take another closer look at the Hillary Clinton and the email scandal. Justice is justice. Okay? If you do something wrong, and she did a lot wrong, she destroyed evidence. She did everything you can imagine. They should go back and look at this stuff. All I hear the left talk about is this is redemption, this redemption. No, it's what we voted for. We voted for the law being applied and clean all this baggage up. How do you go forward without cleaning up like they're doing with Russiagate? So I thought that was pretty interesting because I'm happy to see people take an initiative here. The other thing that came out today is July was a record month for tariff collections, $150 billion. And I think what people really don't realize is we keep collecting money every month. We're in the positive every month. We continue on this trajectory. We're going to be able to, take pieces out of this debt that is just growing and growing and growing. This is really helping us. The world and the left were exploding over all the tariff stuff, and suddenly Trump makes this deal in the EU. The only two countries that are out there retaliating against us have been Canada and China. They have to take notice now because basically the rest of the world, for all intents and purposes, has agreed with Trump and his tariff policies. And I've seen a lot of chatter back and forth on Facebook, which has driven me crazy because there's so much misinformation out there about what Trump cut with the EU. What nobody seems to really recognize on the left, I mean, we see it because we see actual reporting on the facts with most of the news outlets we associate with, particularly this network, Real America's Voice. We know what these things mean. But for those of you who are unsure, we couldn't sell our cars, for the most part, in Europe. We didn't fit their standards. They had these standards that prohibited our cars from even going into the marketplace. Now that's gone. Poof, gone. So now our cars can go into that marketplace. But the most astonishing thing is they're using independent funds. The government is incentivizing independent funds in huge numbers to be reinvested into the United States to make product that we can ship over to them. I mean, it's astonishing how you don't see this being just a big win. I mean, the EU is one of the biggest marketplaces in the world. And here we are with all of these little details that are just not looked at, that Trump uncovered. It's not about the tariff, the 15% for this, the 3% for that, the 0%. It's about the regulations. What the EU has done and what other countries have done to us is they've regulated the heck out of our product in addition to the tariffs. So Trump has removed those regulations. He got the adjustments on the tariffs and then a big slap on the wrist. You got to send some money over here and make things happen. So I wanted to talk about the hypocrisy of the reporting that I see on it. And now we're finally starting to see people coming out of the woodwork, major publications. Squawk Box talked about it. Ken Langone talked about it. Others who have poo-pooed Trump's strategy here are talking about it as being genius. Not just good, not just, I think it's going to work. Genius. All at the same time, we have record low inflation. So there's something really good going on here, and I love the idea that we're collecting funds, and we're going to I don't like distributing those funds. There's a talk about sending everybody $600. Pay the debt down, okay? Pay the debt down. Use these funds to pay it down.
Yeah, the idea that we can afford $600 to everybody just because we're bringing in tariff money is crazy. And Hawley's got this bill to do it. It's $6 or whatever it is. Why not 6,000 or 600,000 or 60,000? What would be the difference at this point? Right?
Yeah. I don't see the difference there, but what I do see is things being done to pay down the debt. For me, that's the number one priority. That's our biggest problem in this country is the debt. And if we have things like this, $150 billion comes in, $200 billion comes in, the numbers are big. Pay it down, pay it down, pay it down. It all goes to that. I don't need a check.
Chip away.
I mean, I mean, they're not big in relation to, obviously, $37 trillion in fiscal operating debt, $2 trillion yearly deficits. I think we're still spending $1 trillion about every 100 days.
It's
so
true.
The idea that all of a sudden, even with this, the idea that all of a sudden we could be sending checks out seems a little
that's a little
far-fetched,
ridiculous, actually.
But it's a Damon, it's a complete reversal of what we've seen, even with Republicans in office. It's a complete reversal. When is the last time we always see spending, We know that's out of control, but we always see spending. We have a big debt, and the payments on that debt are big. When have you ever seen money coming into the coffers and paying it down a little? It's just like having a big credit card bill and finally being able to say, I'm not making that minimum payment. I'm going to make 10 times that minimum payment this month or 5 times. And then you're starting to knock down that debt there. These are just really good trends when you have positive cash flow. And you can use that to pay down, what you owe, even if it's a little bit.
I think the Lee Zeldin move, by the way, is huge news, because unwinding the Green New Scam deal and the trillions of dollars that they've tried to throw at that, anything he can do, especially when it comes to some of the standards that Obama, when he tried to tell us, especially like CAFE standards that have made, like you said, on the cars, when Obama said that CO2 was a threat, what that led to, the EV mandates, the gas stove bans, the tailpipe regulations, a lot of stuff doing with the airlines, all of that. I think the move by Lee Zeldin is a very big deal and should be applauded, because it's about time.
It's the largest deregulation in our history.
Yeah.
Period. Obama put in all sorts of stuff. They even got the Supreme Court to declare greenhouse gases something the EPA has to manage, and then they use that to overregulate just about everything. Obviously, our energy producers, for sure. This is the biggest in history. Kudos to Lee Zeldin. We need the energy, and I agree with you, man. It's a major, major move.
All right, that's a wrap on Hour 1. We'll come back Hour 2, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday. More news, more sports, more Vinnie Mac, Aaron and Fran, right after this.
We got a nice YouTube comment. Texas BBQ. Love you guys. Quality show with a bomb of class. My dad now watches you guys. It's almost a tradition why he lives with me. I don't know if it's a tradition why he lives with them, but as he lives with me. When you guys are live, his name's Rick Evans in New Braunfels, Texas. Hello, Rick Evans in Texas BBQ, or barbecue there. Thank you for the kind words.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for watching, and thanks for turning your pop on to us.
Jeffrey Koenig says, if you do the math, $600 for just 200 million people is $1.2 trillion. It's ridiculous. Pay the debt down. So he agrees with you, Big D. Pay the debt down.
Or just give
How about
it all
the barbecue
to
with
me.
Big D's? Is that going to happen?
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Big D was contemplating it when he was in MSG, but then he realized he hated us all, as he said before the show.
Right.
I said, is that breaking news? He goes, I hope not. And that's out.
I didn't say I hated you until you started making fun of me not having you over.
No,
which you didn't even ask me. If
I said, is that breaking news? You said, I would hope not. So how could you say?
Yeah, he's right.
That
He's
was
right. He got you on
predetermined.
that one, Mr. Sphere.
Thank you.
Yeah,
He
Sphere.
got you.
Right.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he
I
did.
got him.
No,
Barbecue.
you didn't.
No, because I was going to invite you guys over, and then he started complaining, as always.
Well, yeah.
Frozen
Well, we
pizza.
know he
We're going to get
complains.
frozen pizza with pineapples
So
on
then
it.
I decided the party was off.
He was going to barbecue chicken tartare.
So now the party
Aaron wants
is
to get
only,
a party
The
on.
party is only me, Aaron, and Fran.
Okay. Well, that could. Nice. Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah,
Boy, oh
thanks,
boy.
Aaron.
And Harry.
And Harry.
a good party.
Harry in the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
And I guess Vin, because Vin wasn't here. So he didn't
Yeah, I
say
didn't do
anything
anything.
rude.
And Paul Nolan wasn't here, which is what else
And
is
Paul.
new.
So
you
Paul,
got Paul.
he didn't say anything rude.
Right. Paul didn't say
Kevin,
anything rude.
'cause he
and
didn't say anything
KDJ.
rude.
So just me and Delgado
So
will
it's
be
just
out.
you and Delgado that
There you
are
go.
not coming.
We're going to be in.
Have fun with that
We're going
party.
to be waiting for our ride to the airport for you to take us to the Sphere.
Why don't you guys go?
Hello.
Why don't you guys go by yourself?
Because we can't afford it.
Zach Brown's going to be there in December, I
Zach
think.
Brown. Man, I would die to go. I'd die to see him.
I would tell you to go see him.
What a show that guy.
The problem with Zach Brown, the last time I saw him, is he does too many damn covers.
All right.
Hey,
we've got a
Zach Brown music.
We've
I
got
don't want to
a.
see him do Thriller.
What can Brown do for you?
You got a $50.
Whoa, $50 super
chat
chat. Look out.
From Robert Allen.
Oh, Robert Allen, Barbecue Bacon Pizza Friday. VDDR, Vinny Delgado, Damon, and Rick. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So, Robert Allen, barbecue. We're going to have sausage crumble. Let's go.
Ooh, that's good stuff.
$50, Big D, in the super chats. Nice.
Paul better show him
You got
on
enough
time
money.
or he ain't getting it.
Here's the deal. If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B.
That's right, Joe. Thank you very much. 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Real America's Voice, live from Studio 6B. Slick's going to do some more sports here in a second. Delgado's got some more headlines. Vinnie Mac, who's in our West Palm studio tonight in Florida, is going to have some more news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always on a Tuesday night. Boy, lots to get to in hour two. Some things I've had up here for seemingly 2 nights, haven't gotten to. And we're waiting to see. Well, I was listening to John Solomon tonight talk about some of the releases that we're hoping to get from Chuck Grassley.
Yeah.
And by the way, President Trump tonight out with a truth to Chuck Grassley about his judges. You haven't seen that. Go over to the president's truth. A very long message to Chuck Grassley, kind of putting him on the spot in the nicest way possible, saying, Chuck, you need to have the guts. Essentially what the president is saying is we need to wield our power the way the Democrats wield their power when they have it. And by the way, even when they don't have it, they still find a way to wield it. And not everybody's on board or they want to scream and yell, too bad. Because we need to reshape the courts and you need to get on the ball. Essentially is what the president is saying to Chuck Grassley. No, I don't know.
Look at the courts. I mean, right? Look at the federal courts. Look what's happened to Trump since he became president. These guys should be jumping through windows to get other judges appointed. Trump. They should be doing anything and everything they can. He shouldn't have to push Chuck Grassley. Just look at the last 6 months, what these appointees have done to Trump and our agenda.
He says
motivation, don't you think?
He says Chuck Grassley, who I got reelected to the U.S. Senate when he was down by a lot, good way to start, in the great state of Iowa, could solve the blue slip problem we are having with respect to the appointment of highly qualified judges and U.S. attorneys with a mere flick of the pen. Democrats like Schumer, Warner, Kaine, Booker, Schiff, and others, sleazebags, all of them, have an ironclad stoppage of great Republican candidates. Put simply, the President of the United States will never be permitted to appoint the person of his choice because of an ancient and probably unconstitutional custom that if you have even one person in the opposite party serving in the U.S. Senate, he or she must give consent, thereby completely stopping the opposite party's nomination. The only way to beat this hoax is to appoint a Democrat or a weak and ineffective Republican. Therefore, I would never be able to appoint great judges or U.S. attorneys in California, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Virginia, and other places where there is, coincidentally, the highest level of crime and corruption, the places where fantastic people are most needed. Senator Grassley must step up like crooked Joe Biden did when he openly broke at least 2 times the blue slip scam, and like others have done over the years, and let our great Republican judges and U.S. attorneys be confirmed. He should do this immediately and not let the Democrats laugh at him and the Republican Party for being weak and ineffective. The Democrats have broken this ridiculous custom on us. It's time that we break it on them. Chuck, I know you have the courage to do this. Do it. That out from the President of the United States tonight to Chuck Grassley.
Call him out.
Much
man.
needed.
It's the thing to do.
And that's exactly right, by the way. He's exactly right because, again, it's like the old Harry Reid days. He pulled the nuclear option and everybody said, this is going to come back and bite you someday. And, of course, it absolutely did as we went through Justice Kavanaugh and others. And we said, thank you, Harry Reid. Because you set the new standard, and now we're following it. And here, the president says that the Democrats have set the standard here. But the broader point is what I said before. The Democrats will wield power to as far as they can push it every time when it comes to anything. Republicans, always trying to stay in the lane, always trying to stay in bounds, always trying to kumbaya with everybody. And we have no idea how to use the power that we have. And that goes for whether it's governors, courts, presidents, Congress, Senate, Speaker, no matter what it is. They're always trying to stay between the lines. And so the president's right here, and we'll see if it happens. So
let's see if he uses his power.
Well, he knows how to leverage. Nobody knows how to leverage their power better than he does. Nobody ever. And that's what he's doing. Unfortunately, he has to do through these truths to get these people to. Because if he didn't,
right?
Do you think the Republicans would think about this on their own? They go, well, it's like the recess appointments.
We'll just go on vacation.
You think Thune and what's his name would just get together and say, let's just. No, they're at least the word is. I have no confirmation of this is what they're trying to do. That they're going to call these mini sessions throughout the summer.
Every 4 days.
Yeah, so that the president can't have recess appointments. Well, this is exactly to the point.
Yeah, they're basically doing the Democrats' work for them. Without the Democrats having to do a damn thing about it. There you have it. Another example of even though there's more Republicans, quote unquote, in the House and in the Senate, we're still down, right? Because these guys,
said, the Senate's not 52-40, whatever. It's 90-10.
These guys are all Democrats. They run with an R next to their name, and people get snowed by them.
Yeah. One thing before we do sports, I just want to update you because this is it is obviously breaking and big news. This tsunami watch has now been issued for the entire west coast of the U.S. and Hawaii after the 8.7 magnitude earthquake struck in the western Pacific Ocean. This is currently listed as the strongest earthquake in the world since 2011, as I told you before. So now you have a tsunami watch for the entire west coast of the country in Hawaii. So we'll keep an eye on that, obviously, for the rest of the show. So, all right, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Speaking of that, by the way, let me just one other piece of breaking news. Sure. Judge Bovee, who we've been waiting on,
Emil Bove,
confirmed 5049 confirmation of executive calendar number 292 to be United States Circuit Court judge for the Third Circuit. So this has had multiple tries to get this done. So I'm assuming that means it's done, or that's just a confirmation to actually get to the vote. I don't know. We'll have to look it up. All right, let's do sports.
He's got 50 votes.
Huh?
50 to 47.
50 to 49 is what I see.
Oh, 49? Okay.
Yeah.
That's close.
All right, Slick, let's do sports, and I'll confirm that.
All right, let's get a sweep of the Major League Baseball scoreboard, guys. We got the Orioles leading the Blue Jays 3-2, top of the ninth. Bottom of the seventh, the Yankees 6-3 over the Rays. We got the Reds leading the Dodgers 4-2, bottom six. Top of the sixth, Royals 4-1 over the Braves. We have the Red Sox 5-0 over the Twins, bottom of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth, also Brewers 3-1 over the Cubs. Phillies blanking the White Sox 6-0, bottom of the sixth. Marlins 2-0 over the Cardinals, top of the fifth. Bottom of the third, Nationals 2-1 over the Astros. Orioles 16-4 over the Blue Jays. That's a final from earlier today. Rangers taking on the Angels out west, 9:38 first pitch. Mets are in San Diego visiting the Padres at 9:40. 9:45 Pirates and Giants first pitch. And last but not least, Mariners out in Oakland taking on the A's 10:05 first pitch there.
All right, so Bovee has been confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay. Ex-NBA player Marcus Morris accused of stealing $265,000 from 2 Las Vegas casinos. Warner Todd Houston and Breitbart. Ex-NBA star Marcus Morris is being accused of ripping off 2 Las Vegas casinos for $265,000, prosecutors say. According to TMZ, Morris is accused of passing off $115,000 in bad checks at the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino in 2024 and never made the checks good. He is accused of perpetrating a similar scam that same year at the Wynn Las Vegas Hotel and Casino, passing $150,000 in bad checks. Both casinos opened separate cases with the Las Vegas police, and warrants were issued in both cases. Morris was arrested at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport in Florida on Sunday on the charges and currently sits in jail in the Sunshine State awaiting extradition orders to Nevada. A Florida judge refused to release him and said he would only release him into the hands of the authorities of the state of Nevada. Morris's agent, Yanni Noy, is calling the whole thing absolute insanity. He has not played for the Cavs since 2024. Morris was chosen by the Houston Rockets in 2011 with their 14th overall pick. He has been through quite a few teams since then, playing for the Suns, Pistons, and the 76ers. Well, what do you expect? He previously played for the University of Kansas, where he was named. Could you believe Marcus Morris passing bad check? I wonder what he made some bad investments. He made good money. He had a max contract or a big contract back in the day. Marcus Morris, remember, with the Heat, he was a good player. I mean, I don't know. It just really makes no sense to me. So that's a scoop on that.
Yeah, they run out of money, it's called.
Yeah, and Caitlin Clark's stalker is sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. This is Paul Boyer, Breitbart. Michael Lewis, the man charged with stalking WNBA star Caitlin Clark, received a sentence of 2.5 years in prison on Monday. Lewis, age 55, was arrested in Indianapolis earlier this year after sending several threats and sexually explicit messages to Caitlin Clark via the social media platform X. He shouted guilty as charged after pleading not guilty to the charges in January. Lewis was sending these messages to Clark before the FBI then received his account. This is serious stuff, Delgado. And showed up to his hotel room in Indianapolis. Lewis is from Texas, yet had gone to Indiana in the midst of his frightening messages, noted the New York Post. Lewis was sentenced immediately in January and was told to cease contact with Clark and stay away from any Fever or Pacers games, events, or properties. He also was required to stay away from Hinkle Fieldhouse, where Clark's boyfriend, Connor McCaffrey, coaches for Butler University, it added. Lewis reportedly became erratic during his court hearing on Monday per WTHR Indianapolis, and the judge frequently had to correct his behavior. I just wanted to be safe, Lewis reportedly said of his actions, adding that he stalked the basketball star out of concerns for her well-being. So really just a bonkers story. So 2.5 years, I'm not sure that might be enough time to rehab that young man, but we shall see. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D, just inside 2 minutes.
All right, Slick, 12 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. So Molly, actually, it's not Molly Hemingway. It's Sean Davis over at The Federalist. And this goes to what John Solomon's been reporting and some of the things we're waiting on from Chuck Grassley and others to continue to dig into how Obama was the tip of the sphere when it came to tip of the spear, not sphere like in Vegas. Breaking, this is from yesterday, declassified Susan Rice email confirms Michael Flynn was personally targeted in the Oval Office meeting. And obviously, you know, we talk a lot about, obviously, President Trump and what they did in those meetings they had in between the election and obviously Trump taking office. But let's not forget about what happened to Michael Flynn, as Trump wanted him, obviously, in the administration. And now, as we learn more about how he was really personally targeted by Obama. I mean, let's call it what it was. By the then sitting president of the United States in the January 5th Oval Office meeting is another thing that needs to continue to come out. And Sean Davis writes about it at The Federalist yesterday. If we have some time, we'll get into that. Plus other news, sports, all coming up. Vinnie Mac. When we get back right after this.
rough night for those folks. A rough morning, I should say. My goodness.
They set up Flynn. And, when Flynn had to defend himself, he had to sell his house. I mean, he had to do a lot of things that practically destroyed his life just to defend himself.
Yeah, they also went after his son.
They went after his son.
Mm-hmm.
They were, one, afraid of Flynn. Two, Obama didn't like Flynn for, I'm sure, very obvious reasons, like he was not buying into the whole plan, my guess is. And the FBI set him up. They need to all be outed onto this story, Damon. They need to be all found out, arrested. I don't know what statute of limitations are around with that, but man, people got to be held accountable.
Did you see the reporting out today that the Wall Street Journal has already called Trump to possibly settle this lawsuit over this ridiculous card story they put out just 2 weeks ago?
Of course they did.
What? I mean,
is it in their marketing budget? Is that what they're doing? I mean, what are they doing?
It's just bizarre. Oh, okay, thanks.
You got two or one?
We have any guests tonight?
Yes.
Who's the guest tonight?
Did you know?
I did not know
that former presidents can be impeached?
Really?
Right.
Yes.
Really?
Therefore, opening themselves up.
What's that? 65 in the Senate you need? Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm just saying that it is possible.
Pigs when pigs fly.
Yes, functionally, by the Constitution, is it possible? Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that former presidents could be impeached, therefore opening themselves up to other charges.
Someone in the chat said Damon's shirt is on backwards. Oh, really? You know many companies that put the pockets on the back?
Yeah, there's not many, but there are a few.
All right, 17 past the hour. Sounds like the blue. On a Tuesday, let me talk to you about our friends at Patriot Mobile. I realize there are many choices when it comes to who you choose for your cell phone service, and there are, well, new ones seemingly popping up all the time. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes in that freedom is worth fighting for. And that's our friends at Patriot Mobile. For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms, while also providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the main networks. Don't just take my word for it. Ask the hundreds of thousands of Americans who have made the switch and are now supporting causes that they believe in simply by joining Patriot Mobile. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Keep your number, keep your phone, or you can upgrade. Patriot Mobile's all U.S.-based customer support team is standing by to take care of you. And here's how you get a hold of them. Call right now, 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT, or you can go to patriotmobile.com/RAV, R-A-V, patriotmobile.com/RAV, and then use promo code RAV, well, for a free month of service. A free month. You want to look at my cell phone bill and see what a free month would be worth? A lot. That's patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. Make the switch today. patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. Make the switch today. Use promo code RAV for a free month of service. All right, 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some headlines. Headlines are brought to you by our friends at EternalLifeCoin.com. Rick Delgado's got them. What else is going on tonight in the world there, Delgado? What's the update on the tsunami? Some of the videos coming out look like this thing is No joke.
Yeah, it's no joke. Again, the West Coast is now under tsunami warning from Alaska all the way down to Mexico. So people are on edge a little bit there. I think Slick Rick said the timing, about 2 a.m. our time?
Eastern time, yeah.
Eastern
between
time?
2 and 4 a.m. right now is what they're calling for.
Right. Is that what they would expect to see something happening if it indeed does happen? So we'll keep an eye on that. The other big story that I have, Damon, we started talking about a little bit is, of course, the Sydney Sweeney American Eagles jeans ad. Yes, I know, crazy, right? But it seems to be gobbling up time across all the major networks, people trying to figure out why people are so angry at Sydney Sweeney's American Eagles jean ad. Well, here it could be why the left is losing it. Here's cut number 9. This is from Good Morning America on ABC as they report on this. Believe it or not, they did a whole report on it this morning. Cut number 9. Check it out.
We begin with the backlash over a new ad campaign featuring actress Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, the ads are for American Eagle, and the tagline is, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Now, in one ad, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress talks about genes as in DNA being passed down from her parents.
The play on words is being compared to Nazi propaganda with racial undertones.
What?
The pun, good genes, activates troubling historical associations for this country. The American eugenics movement in its prime between 1900 and 1940 weaponized the idea of good genes just to justify white supremacism.
Yes.
Despite that backlash, American Eagle stock has been soaring.
Yeah. So there you have it.
I could get myself in a lot of trouble commenting on the commenter.
Oh, you mean
talking about Sydney Sweeney?
God.
Really?
Because let's face it, that's just what ugly people say.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly right.
Yeah, right.
I mean, give me a break.
Because Sydney Sweeney, I guess, has basically good-looking parents, and she's a beneficiary of that. And then she turned that into a huge deal with American Eagle to sell jeans. Basically, what made America great is that you can do stuff like this, but the left is losing their freaking minds. Meanwhile, it takes a gay guy to sum up why everybody is, what this whole thing is about. This is cut number 10. Check this out. Cut 10, the Sydney Sweeney jeans controversy summed up for you.
Determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My jeans are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Only unfortunate-looking women and gay men who want to be women are hating on Sydney Sweeney. Now walk with me. Hot white people, this is your sign to stop being ashamed of your Caucasian excellence. Liberals are losing their minds because Sydney Sweeney isn't ashamed to be a blonde, blue-eyed white woman. The American Eagle ad is not fascist. It just shows that the high BMI positivity movement is over. I don't need to see every skin tone, gender identity, and weight class in order to buy a product. I want to see hot people, and Sydney's denim jeans rack is uniting our country. Notice how no one hotter or more successful than you is concerned about what you wear, do, or look like? Exactly. Hot people get it, and we've all been wronged by unfortunate-looking people.
There you go. Wrapped up for you.
I mean, Aaron, let's just put this on while we comment on it, because as the person who reposted this today says, God bless America.
Yeah. There it is. Somebody complained that they didn't like...
The girl is fine.
Right.
And that's going to sell some jeans.
Not only that, but somebody also complained that she gets in that car like she wants to run you over. Oh, that was another liberal freaking out because she's driving a muscle car and made it seem like she wanted to run you over.
Reminds me of a commercial, Ooh La La Buffoons. That's what it reminds me of.
Meanwhile, if you remember, what did we have back in the early 80s selling jeans? One, Brooke Shields. Remember those commercials?
Yeah.
Those were insane commercials.
Didn't Beyonce do Levi's?
Was it knowing it's between me and my Calvins? Who was that model that did that?
I think
one
that was that could have been Brooke Shields.
And you're right, and I'm right that what's her name? Beyonce did Levi's, and the girl looks fine in those jeans too. By the way, if you're going to put someone in jeans, Beyonce would be a good choice.
Right.
If you're going to try to sell some jeans.
The gay guy was right. The unfortunate-looking people are the ones that are upset.
I don't remember any talk about Beyonce. I mean, it's crazy. What are we even giving it time for? People are out of their mind.
Because because people are out of their minds.
The most insane people on the planet are rich, white, liberal women. Let's just say it. That's exactly the truth. They're the most maybe dangerous, the most unhappy,
Mm-hmm.
and the most literally out of their mind for the most part.
And they're all complaining about these commercials.
Exactly.
Who knows? Who knows what goes through their
From
head?
an advertising standpoint, and you remember the days where taglines and, if you're sitting in a marketing meeting, which I have a lot of experience in, you're trying to come up with something clever that people can remember, a tagline of some kind to put in, put in the ad or put in the product or put in the short video. And she's got great genes. I mean, it's a great line. It's a great line.
Yeah, it's a great play on words.
She's beautiful. Yeah, it is. If this were the 70s or 80s, they'd be winning a Clio. They'd be winning an award for just the tagline.
I mean, how long would it take you to come up with this idea? It would take us about 40 seconds. I mean,
exactly.
Okay, we want to
It's
sell
still
some
clever.
jeans. All right, who's the hottest girl we know that's going to look good in jeans? Sydney Sweeney's the hottest girl right now. Good. Put her in. She's got good jeans. Okay, done. Go shoot it. I mean, what are we talking about?
Exactly. Next.
Yeah.
What else do you want to sell?
It's the Damon Agency. That's how we do it.
I'm opening my own marketing agency, Vin, if you want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Commercials.
Next up, Cool Whip. We need a new advertising campaign for Cool Whip. Who's a hot chick who wants to
David's got no patience to shoot anybody. Trust me on that one.
See, this is why you're not coming to the party.
Yeah, no barbecue for you.
Yeah. So.
Lived it.
All right, any other headlines, Delgado, you want to do right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you see, do we have time for Jim Cramer, cut number 6, as he drops the F-bomb on CNBC?
I saw
Oh, Kramer. Oh,
Check
my
it out.
God.
Our biggest problem is we have so much growth that the Fed won't cut.
What the
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I take it right back.
Everybody,
I take it right back. That was bad.
It's okay. We're in the moment.
It's live television. It's just the way
I take
it right back. That was bad.
It's cable with a ticker, as Bill Kernan would say.
I take that back.
That's right.
Real people doing live TV.
No.
Jim, though, to your point, Goldman
He
today.
apologized.
To your point.
You're fine.
The only thing I want to hear.
That's okay.
The only thing I want to hear from Jim Cramer is who he likes in his football picks, so I can flip them all year.
Odds makers. Odds makers coming up.
So Slick says he wants to do the first odds makers on Thursday. He wants to do the Hall of Fame game.
Go. Charges. Detroit's laying 2.5.
Actually, speaking of odds makers, I got an email today from Farmer Brooke talking about scheduling for odds makers.
Well, he's not coming on. What's he talking about?
I have to pull up the email. It made me laugh so hard.
Was it his agent or him?
Oh,
yeah,
it
was
was
his
definitely
agent
him.
or him?
No, it's him. He's selling himself.
He thinks he wants to come on the odds makers again?
Oh, yeah.
Did he do terrible?
He went 0 for 12
He went
last
0 for
year, didn't
everything.
he?
I know. Oh, yeah, that's right. They are at the work.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think we're going to have to set some rules if he's going to come on in the regular season. I think he's going to have to. Let me think about this for a second from a marketing standpoint.
Like I said, odds makers, Big D. Odds makers will be at the warehouse now, right?
I think. Oh yeah.
So that's going to be big.
Depends what
Put
he's
him in
wearing.
put him in a pair of jeans.
Vin, have you? Oh yeah, you were around for the odds makers last year. Yeah.
Oh, the email's gone.
Yeah.
So we may have to.
Did he recover the email? He took it back?
Big Damon deleted it.
Yeah, I deleted it when I saw it.
We delete every email.
What's
the difference?
It's funny.
It was so outrageous of a.
It's probably in the trash bin. Dig it out.
Question.
You'll find it.
No, I deleted it. It just deleted it.
Why would you delete it?
It's right next to your contract.
Oh, God. I think we'll have to set something for him. He's going to have to go a certain percentage in the preseason to make it to the regular season. That seems fair, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but so you're going to put him on. You're going to put him on
Probation. For sucking last
TV
year,
every
yeah.
week for sucking? Or he's got to do it off air to qualify?
Yeah, he just has to send us the pics prior.
He'll have to email me the pics prior to.
He's going to have to go a certain percentage of winning to be considered for the regular season.
All right. Super
You
chat.
think that's fair?
I think that's fair.
I think so.
MDo, $10. This should cover the pineapples on your pizza. I'm glad you all like my Mamdani bumper stickers. Can send more if you want. That's MDo, $10. Thank you in the YouTube chat.
Farmer Brooks says Damon is so jelly. Well, listen up, pal. I might be jelly, but you're going to have to prove yourself. I think that's fair. Let's let the audience decide. How about that? All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. So we have a very important job for the audience to do here, as I've been informed during the break that Farmer Brooks sent an email into lfsxb@yahoo.com requesting that he be a part automatically of the odds makers this year.
Man.
And Aaron and Slick were rightly, and Delgado and Vin were rightly saying that he shouldn't be allowed because he stunk last year.
Well, I didn't say he shouldn't be allowed.
No,
did I misspeak?
You said that.
Okay.
I don't think I said that.
Anyways, so I was saying we should let the audience decide whether the farmer should have to prove himself during the preseason. Send us his picks.
Oh.
We'll see how he does. And if he hits a certain percentage, then we'll say, okay, now you're ready for the big time, and we'll put him back on. But if he doesn't, then he can't come on.
Right. Yeah, they'll put him out the pasture.
So let's leave it to the audience. One in the chat, if you think that he should automatically be allowed to come on one of the regular season weeks, or two, if he has to earn it by winning during the preseason a certain percentage. So let's let the chat decide.
Yeah.
And we'll be fair about it.
Yep.
One, if he automatically gets on. Two, if he has to prove himself. So
They're all going to say one.
We'll keep track of what it is. And so
farmers got to wait to reap the benefits, right? I mean,
well, Farmer Brook puts one in there. That doesn't count. I mean, we can't go with that. So
he can vote for himself.
Well, I guess.
This is America.
Oh, well, the twos have it. I'm calling it already. The twos have it.
This is America.
Someone said 7.
Oh, yeah, 7 doesn't count. The twos have it.
We got to get Chip back on.
Wow,
Chip
it's
was
already
good.
done.
Remember Chip last year?
Damon hates Farmer.
Chip
That's
has
not
to
true.
come back.
I love Farmer Brook. What are you talking about? But I just have to be fair.
He just doesn't want him on the show.
Right.
All right, 31 past the hour.
What?
Let's go to Vinnie Mac.
Farmer
He's
Brooks in
our
his
West
silo.
Palm studio.
Did I say that out
literally.
loud? Sorry.
Let's see what else is on his mind. The twos definitely have it. Vinnie Mac, what else is going on?
Let me take a close look at that shirt of yours over there. Yeah, really nice. Really nice.
Really?
The magic of TV. Yes, I wanted to talk a little bit about Trump pulling back the timeline on Putin from 50 days to 10 days, and which is, I think, is a story because things are about to get serious there. But what I like that he's doing the most, and what Trump has been doing across the board, really, with everything, is he's leveraging all of his global partners. He's basically saying, you know, if you're not going to comply, we're going to put 100% tariffs on all your products. We're going to sanction all your products. And anybody who does business with you, there'll be 100% tariff on countries that import any goods or anything from Russia, particularly what? Their oil, right? That's how they've done it before. In the past, we've sanctioned, we've given Putin all sorts of things that are supposed to cripple him economically. Well, that never worked because he backdoored all this stuff and was able to move oil and other things through other means. And Trump's basically saying, I'm not only going to hold you accountable, I'm going to hold all these other countries accountable to what they do to try and get your product. And China, it's a real warning out to you. If you want oil, hey, buy it from us. We got oil, right? Hey, come to the good old US of A. We'll sell you some oil, but don't buy it from Putin. So we might finally see the rubber hitting the road here. And the rubber does need to hit the road here. This thing is just an unnecessary escalation and continuance of a war that just shouldn't have happened, still be happening. And Putin's playing his games, and Trump, I think, has finally drawn the line. I've been a little critical of Trump through this process because he's tried and I give him a little credit for this, he's tried to work it out with Putin, like had conversations and they went well and he's going to do this. But every time he's done the opposite. And at some point, and someone like Trump knows this better than anyone, he's, construction guy in the state of New York dealing with mafia guys, corrupt politicians, you name it. Eventually, you got to slam the door on these people, and you got to slam the door on Putin. It's the only thing he responds to. Guys like Putin respond to force, strength, all those things that we've had presidents outside of Trump who can't possibly display those things. Biden couldn't, Obama couldn't, but Trump can, and he has. And don't think that attack that we were part of with Israel on Iran has no bearing on Putin, because it does. I think there are two reasons Trump did that. One, we had to do it for the nuke thing, but two, he knew this was coming down the road with Putin, and he let him have it. So that's on my mind. There's one other story on my mind, and you had mentioned it a little bit with the news coverage of this kid in Gaza.
So what happens on day 11, Vin, in your opinion?
Day 11 comes down with all the sanctions and all of the tariff measures on countries that do business with Russia. I think that all comes down on day 11, hardcore. And I think Trump calls him on day 10 and says, look, this is what's happening tomorrow. Let's stop this already. Putin will take it to the end. I think eventually he'll back down. He's weak in his country, weaker than he's ever been, because they're broke. They're spending money on this war, and they're getting, arms from Korea, North Korea. They're getting fighters from North Korea because their guys are getting killed all over the place. So he's a little vulnerable, but he's also very dangerous. He's a crazy, crazy dictator, in my view. I know some people disagree with that. I think I got into it with Paul about, Putin being crazy and so on. He's probably not mentally crazy. He's just power hungry, KGB power hungry, comes from that old school of I hate America, Soviet Union has to be the empire, and I want power and money. The only way to deal with that is, with a sledgehammer. So that's what I think is going to happen. Day 11, all this stuff's going to hit.
All right, what else is on your mind?
The other thing is, you would talk about that story about the kid in Gaza who the press, of course, wrongly, associated. But this story is just so much bigger, and it's so much bigger around the media. This is why the media just can't be trusted. We've seen it in our own country with the, characterization of the shooter in New York or the Maryland father and all that stuff. And, it drives us all crazy. But Gaza is a perfect example of the global media dictating and trying to push a narrative. Because the reality is, and everybody knows this, it's no secret, the Palestinian people are starving. That's real. They're not getting food and supplies. Why? Because Hamas is stealing it and then reselling it on the black market. Trump addressed this, but we have media, we have reporters in there. How are they not reporting this? That's why there's so much sympathy out there for Hamas. Like they're the good, they're not getting, we're putting trucks there with food and so on. They should be reporting that we are doing all the right things, and we have been for years with these people, but Hamas is stealing it. And then they're reselling it to make money. Their own people are dying of starvation. And there's plenty of food there. So something there has to change. But it's a bigger example of the media in general. And the last point I'll make is the big sound, the big shattering that we're hearing coming out of the FCC of these changes in media going on in our country. Colbert is just one little piece of it, but networks are changing. Lots are changing in the media space right now. They're starting to fall apart a little. They're starting to lose their edge on this biased coverage. There's still some out there. You're seeing probably one of the biggest booms in family-oriented entertainment, faith entertainment, and these hardcore left woke media companies, being taken down a little. And the guy who's really driving that is Trump. He's suing them. The movement, our whole MAGA movement, is a big part of that because we're finally being heard. And it falls in place with the thing I'm talking about in Gaza, because all that reporting it's just got to stop, and it's starting to stop. And it's starting in our country. Hopefully it hits the rest of the world.
John Spencer, who's been writing about this in the Jerusalem Post, headline yesterday, Israel's wartime Gaza aid is historically unprecedented. And he says, many things can be true at the same time. Flooding Gaza with humanitarian aid is the right and moral thing to do. A military must balance its operational objectives with humanitarian imperatives, including the prevention of starvation and the protection of civilian life. A military can restrict the flow of humanitarian supplies if the enemy is diverting them for its own purposes. And it is also true that civilian populations are routinely moved out of combat zones to reduce harm and ensure more effective delivery of humanitarian assistance. These are all basic truths of war. But there is another truth that must be acknowledged, one that is rarely said out loud despite being plain and provable. There is no historical precedent for a military providing the level of direct aid to an enemy population than Israel has provided to Gaza. This aid has taken place. While the war is ongoing, while the enemy Hamas continues to control territory, and while that enemy is still fighting, launching attacks, and holding hostages, Israel is delivering fuel, food, medicine, and water into territories still under the command of the very group that murdered its civilians on October 7th, that continues to fire rockets into Israeli towns, and that is openly declaring it will repeat those atrocities again and again. There is no precedent for how this should be done. There's no precedent for this. None. And that's just the beginning of this article in the Jerusalem Post about this very topic, Vin.
Yeah, and it's that not only is that completely accurate, but what does that really say? What is that article really pointing out? It's pointing out that the Israelis aren't at war with the Palestinian people. They're not. All this, save Palestine, all this stuff, they're not at war with them. The Palestinian people have been taken over by a terrorist group who brutalized them, who starved them, who used them as pawns. It's not the people. It's Hamas. And what has Israel had to do? They've had to go in and surgically kill these Hamas leaders and other Hamas soldiers. And what has Hamas done? Is they've taken the people they're supposed to be serving and put them in the way. And on top of that, they take the food and the fuel and all that and starve them. I mean, the Palestinian people see this. You can't, at some point, when you're starving, you're hurting, your home's been blown up, you have to see, why are these guys doing this? We can't support these guys anymore. I mean, frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if they're pro-Israel, that's because their lives are destroyed because
you just said the problem there, Vin. Up until maybe now, they've been supporting them. Sure, maybe they're not, dressing up and shooting and killing people along with them, but they ain't going out of their way to stop them either. So you got to look at that part of the reality of that equation is that a lot of them, while they might not suit up with them, they kind of wink and nod and go, yeah, we're okay with it, because that's what they know. That's who they are. They support them. So you can't just give all the Palestinian people, because where does Hamas get their people from? Palestinian people.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
They don't grow them in a lab. It's just like, this is our Hamas lab, and this is where they all come from. No, they come from the Palestinians. So there's a very good portion of that population. I think it was estimated like 60+% that was supporting Hamas in everything they did. Yeah. So that part you have to kind of step back and go, yeah.
Maybe it's wishful thinking that they see this,
Could be.
All right,
and they're scared of them.
On a Tuesday night, when we get back, Real America's Voice, live from Studio 6B, right after this.
If
Yeah, well, I'll do rodeo.
Aaron, what's the call on the 1s and 2s? Who has it?
Looks like
2s.
I don't know. To me, it kind of looked almost even. From what I was seeing, it looked almost even.
Where were you looking? On all of them?
I was looking at all of them. Yeah.
It looked to me like the 2s, and I see all of them.
It was a lot of
one
1s at first, and then it was a lot of 2s.
I think the 2s got it.
The 2s overwhelmed.
So maybe the 2s came to their.
Okay, the
1s
2s
came
were
to their
overwhelming?
senses.
I think so.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I'm seeing that in the rumbles.
I think you got.
I see some 1s, but I see a lot of 2s.
We'll go with 2.
And
So
a bunch of 7s.
So the 2s have it.
Jethro.
The 2 2s.
Yeah.
Damon, is your shirt possibly
What is
white?
with this shirt tonight?
Collection at Buc-ee's. Damon, is your shirt from the possibly white collection at Buc-ee's?
They love your shirt too tonight, Vinny.
It's
I got to tell
a
you.
terrible shirt.
What?
They want to know
Am I
what the
getting good
fuzzy
reviews
stuff
or
is.
mocking reviews?
Mocking reviews.
Broke Spoke says Damon dresses like he's from Hot Topic.
Thank you.
Hello.
Why are you laughing at that, Aaron? Isn't that a compliment?
Not really.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a hot topic.
Yes, you are.
Right.
Yes, okay.
Page 6, baby. Come on.
I'm a hot topic. Oh my God.
Oh no.
You got good genes.
Oh, there you go. Why are you trying to make him out to be a Nazi there, Vin?
Yeah, here we go.
What's wrong
again.
with you?
White supremacist.
Yeah. Superior race.
What are you talking about?
Damon's shirt
heck
isn't
are you
even
talking-
sewn right, it looks like. What are you talking about?
You know what?
Is it bunching up here?
No, you know what it is? I think he
let me
washed
take
it
a
too
look at
much.
that.
It's an older shirt. He probably washed it too much and it's
Vin,
stretched
look.
out
Take a look.
from his
Oh yeah.
What?
underneath his gullet, right there.
What's
Yeah.
wrong?
His gullet.
Yeah.
You just called it a gullet?
Brand new. It's like the first time I've worn it.
Really?
The hell
Because
are
That
you
was a
talking
great
about?
Cincinnati
looks-
Reds pitcher, Don's gullet.
It's not sitting
It looks-
right. The pocket's on the front. I don't know how
Don
backwards.
gullet.
it looks terrible. Like it was stretched out.
His gullet. That was his jack. Is he a freaking pelican?
Sonia Henderson says maybe a hot topping, but not hot topic.
Oh, hot topping.
Ooh, he's
like
a hot
honey hot
topic.
pizza.
Damon looks like he models for Big and Tall, Old Navy edition. I think that's a compliment. Thank
That
you.
is a compliment.
Thank you
Sure,
very
of
much.
course
I would
it
take
is.
that as a
That ship
compliment.
set sail years ago.
Someone said it's on backwards. It's not on backwards.
It looks like it's on backwards.
You look like you're on backwards. What did he say, Aaron? Bastard. We're on. 13 to the hour live from Studio 6B.
His gullet's on backwards.
Your head's on backwards, moron. Hey, by the way, speaking of Delgado being a moron, did you hear Delgado? I mean, not that's not right.
That's not nice.
Strike that.
What?
Did you hear that there's an asteroid heading towards the moon?
Is there?
Yeah. And no, this is a real story. Don't laugh at me.
Delgado's going to crater on this one. Come on, Delgado.
There's a story. And of course, they always lead with the headline that
Right.
the world's coming to an end, and then you have to go read the fine print to find out that there's like a 4% chance that
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
actually.
40 billion
4.3.
years.
4.3%.
Okay, so you have the story.
It's a 200-foot asteroid, could slam into the moon, sparking a bright flash, but that's about it. Maybe a small meteor shower will hit the Earth, but not much.
Okay, so we're not all going to die.
Well,
Wow.
about that.
Depends on the fallout.
All right, Slick was right.
Right.
Cratered on that one. So all right,
Totally.
12 minutes till the hour. Let's do some less. We'll get to everybody here. Slick, I'll start with you. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. What else is going on?
All right, well, Linda McMahon sends warning to Maine after state's education chief's emails undermining Trump's surface. There will be consequences, McMahon said. This is Jackson Thompson of Fox News. U.S. Department of Education Secretary Linda McMahon addressed a Fox News digital report that the Maine Education Commissioner undermined President Donald Trump's executive orders and emails to schools. McMahon shared the report in a post on X Tuesday, referencing the Trump administration's lawsuit against the state for defying Title IX. Deliberately defying federal law is exactly why the Department of Education found Maine in violation of Title IX and why DOJ is continuing its lawsuit against the state. If you ignore federal law, there will be consequences, McMahon wrote. Emails obtained by Fox News Digital show Maine Department of Education Commissioner Pender Macon drafted multiple memos for schools that suggested the schools follow Maine state law and not comply with Trump's January executive orders that addressed public education. Last week, we advised schools to adhere to the Maine Human Rights Act and your local school board policies related to non-discrimination. We encourage you to continue to keep all people safe, and we reiterate the fact that at present, neither our state nor your local policies are diminished by the executive orders directing action at the federal level, one memo read, as seen in January 20th emails. So basically, they're telling Trump that they don't want to go along, but we got other plans. So McMahon is staying steadfast with that, and we'll certainly keep an eye on how that develops. Also, Donald Trump cut a ribbon to officially open second golf course at Aberdeen, Big D. This is Nick Gilbertson of Breitbart. President Donald Trump officially cut the ribbon for the new golf course at Trump International Golf Links, Aberdeen, on Monday, the final day of his historic trip to Scotland. Trump officially opened the course with the ribbon-cutting ceremony alongside his sons Donald Jr. and Eric, who is the executive vice president of the Trump Organization. President Trump hit the first drive to commence the inaugural round on the course in a grouping with Eric Trump and former Ryder Cup captain Paul McKinley. And were you invited, Big D? You weren't invited to that, huh?
No.
So anyway,
it does look beautiful, boy. 36 holes. It looks absolutely stunning.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Did you see a shot? 290 yards right down the middle.
Well, he's a good golfer. I mean,
I should have highlighted that.
All these haters on socials who probably don't even